Welcome to my channel. If you're a returning subscriber, hi. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Faith. In this video, I'm going to tell you about how to design your dream life. If I've designed my dream life, you too can design your dream life. And in this video, I'm going to share with you practical tips you can take from today to design a life you love. Without further ado, let's get right into this episode. I come from a very humble family in Uganda, and by the time I was born, my parents were almost retiring. They were civil servants who worked for governments, and by the time I go to primary school, they had retired, meaning they had to use their pension to take me to school. When I finished high school, I knew I wanted to become a doctor, but I didn't get the points I needed to get in on medicine, so I had to find a different route to take. I ended up pursuing biomedical sciences from Makerere University, and when I was doing that course, I was a privately sponsored student. That meant that my parents had to get from their pension again to pay for me. By the time I finished university, I knew my parents had done their bit, and it was my time to take care of myself. So, as any ambitious girl, I decided to look for a job. When I was looking for a job, it was really very hard to find a job because, no one employs anyone who doesn't have working experience. So what I did, I ended up looking for many internships and many placements to make sure that I got at least the working experience I needed to enter the job market in Uganda. I did this for over a year. From 2010 to 2011, I interned at different research institutions in Uganda. I worked at Makerere University, Johns Hopkins University Research Collaboration, which is called MUJU. I worked at the Uganda Cancer Institute and the like. So while I was doing this internship, I was looking for an avenue to get me into the prestigious institute that I wanted to work at. That institute is called Uganda Virus Research Institute. On a fateful day in 2011, I applied to work at Uganda Virus Research Institute. I got in on merit, and when I got my first job, I knew this was a point for me to start forging a life for myself. I always knew that I wanted to do research. I wanted to help in generating drugs and therapeutics to help treat many viral diseases. So when I got to Uganda Virus Research Institute, I was working on HIV. And while I was working at Uganda Virus Research Institute, I enjoyed my time there. But when I got in, what I found was not what I envisioned. I thought working at this big institution, there would be career progression for you. So 1 year down the lane, I sat down and evaluated my progress. I had done a lot. I had learned a lot of new skills. I had networked with the people who were already working there. And I was starting to forge a career path for myself. 2 years down the lane, I wanted to do a master's degree. It was hard to find a master's scholarship because I didn't want to study at Makerere. Because I wanted to get international experience, I wanted to look for a university elsewhere to study my master's. So I started looking for a scholarship. Looking for a scholarship meant I looked in different countries, from Europe to the UK to America to Australia and even Singapore. But for the first year, all that I got were regrets. I didn't get any scholarship until I decided to get myself a mentor. When I got myself a mentor, I shared with him my ambitions, and he was able to support me on this journey. What I learned is that for you to advance your career, you have to make sure that you establish a network of people who are going to support you. This could be your colleagues, this could be your family members, or this could be a mentor or even a coach. So in 2013, I sat down and drew myself a plan on how I wanted the next 10 years of my life to go. I had envisioned I would do a master's degree elsewhere in the world, and after doing that master's degree, I would proceed to doing a PhD. So in 2013, I won the coveted Equity and Merit Scholarship for the University of Manchester. I ended up going to Manchester, and I loved my experience there. And while I was at Manchester, I knew this was the time to cement my connections and also build myself a personal brand. These were the things that I had to do to make sure that my career progressed the way I wanted to see it. So I get to Manchester, I started establishing my footprint. I decided to become a scholarship ambassador. I decided to work for the University of Manchester, I also decided to excel at my studies. This strategy opened for me a different avenue that by the time I was finishing my master's degree, I looked for a PhD in Australia and I was able to get the PhD scholarship that brought me to Australia. Right now, I live in Australia and this journey has not been a smooth journey. It's been a journey full with hurdles and a lot of strategizing, and at the same time, I've had to adopt mindset shifts to help me get to where I am. That's the backstory in a nutshell. So the first point I want to tell you, if you want to design your dream life, you have to be clear on what that dream life looks like. What exactly do you want to have in your life? How does your dream life feel like? How many hours do you work in a day? How many hours do you work in a week? Where are you working? What activities do you do every day in your dream life? Where would you want to live? How do you spend your days? And what do you do? Get into the nitty-gritties of your dream life. And the best way to do this is to get yourself a notebook, which is going to be your dreams and things journal, and write down what your dream life feels like. When you're clear on what your dream life is, you put away all the noise surrounding you. I know there's so much influence that we get from social media, from seeing other people who are on the same path as us, probably your classmates, probably your colleagues. But if you're sure what your dream life is, this noise will be shut out and you only focus on things that are going to move you closer to getting your dream life. I have this saying that says that if you don't know your destination, you might never get there. Say you take a trip from wherever you are and you're going to point B. If you don't have a map on how you're going to get to point B, you will not get there. But if you have a map laid out, what's going to happen? Even if you find detours, you still come back to the route that you're supposed to take. Even if you find hurdles, you'll still make it to that point that you're going. So the first point is you have to be clear on what your dream life is. Number 2, explore the options that are going to get you to your dream life. Exploring the options starts by acknowledging where you are right now. What are you grateful for where you are right now? I always tell the people I coach that where you are right now is exactly where you should be. Meaning that your current scenario, your current situation is where you're supposed to be. For you to get to point B, you have to acknowledge that where you are is where you're supposed to be. Acknowledging where you are is going to come down to understanding what has brought you to where you are. How you do this is you have to find the gratitude. Be grateful for the journey that you've traveled to get where you are. Be grateful for the lessons that you've learned to get where you are. Analyze your failures. What has failed in the past? And how do you want to change those failures? And how do you want to learn from those failures? Also understand that where you are is the starting point to where you're going. Meaning that you have to do that self-reflection to understand your current situation. When you're exploring your options, you have to look at different options that are going to get you to your destination. It's okay for you to have tunnel vision, but with tunnel vision, most times you let go of other things that you need to focus on. Possibly you want to lose weight in 2024 or the year to come. If you only concentrate on working out and you don't concentrate on your nutrition, you're not going to achieve that goal that you've set. So explore the options that you have. Possibly you want to advance your career, but right now where you're working, you don't have the time to spare to apply for a master's degree or a postgraduate diploma. First, understand your current situation. What options do you have where you are right now that can lead you closer to where you're going? After you've explored your option, the next step is to break down your goals into small, manageable tasks that you're going to do. Breaking them down could look different for anyone. Say you want to advance your career. You might decide to update your CV, right? After you've updated your CV, you might decide to look at different career options that you could take. You might go for a postgraduate, you might go for a master's, you might go for a PhD, depending on the level that you're on. Explore that option. After that, you could decide to start applying to different institutions and universities for the course that you've selected. All those are steps that you're going to take to lead you closer to achieving that dream life that you want. When I wanted to start a YouTube channel, I sat down and brainstormed what ideas I would talk about. I looked at the interests I had. I love fitness. I love women empowerment. I'm a mother. I'm a scientist. I'm also a career strategist. So I looked at those components. How can I infuse them in my YouTube channel? That's when I decided to start with my postpartum journey, because I had just given birth to my daughter, and I started producing videos about my postpartum fitness journey. After that journey, I decided to start adding small bits of my life and things that I enjoy on my YouTube channel. You see, I broke down that goal of starting a YouTube channel to manageable tasks that I could do to help me start my YouTube channel. Breaking down these tasks is going to be one thing, but taking action is the most important thing. Taking action is the thing that is going to lead you closer to your dream life. However much you decide to make the plan on how you're going to achieve your dream life, it might be to increase your income, it might be to move countries, it might be to advance your career, start a side hustle. But if you only have those goals written down and you don't take action, you're not going to achieve that dream life. My saying is, imperfect action is better than no action. The same example in starting my YouTube channel. When I started my YouTube channel, I did not know what it meant to film my YouTube video. In fact, I used to be among those people that sit in the back end and watch other people's YouTube channels and really comment about their content, saying, that lighting was not good. This person might have done it. I didn't like this video. I didn't enjoy watching this YouTube channel. I didn't like the setup of their YouTube studio. You see, those were comments I was making before I started my own YouTube channel. But when I decided to start a YouTube channel, I understood that, this is really hard work. But if you put your mind to it, you improve as time goes on. I decided to start by doing voiceovers because those were things I found easy because I have a podcast. I found it easy to record voiceovers because I'd been doing podcasting for over 3 years. But to get to this place where I do these sit downs, I also had to learn how to film, how to position my camera, where to look, and how to make sure that I articulate the points that I'm talking about. This was imperfect action. And right now, I could say that my videos have improved compared to how I started because I've learned on the journey. Anything that you're going to learn is going to take you time. So, factor in that as you design your dream life. You are going to face hurdles. You're going to face hardships. You're going to face naysayers. You're going to face self-doubt. But if you know what direction you're headed to, these things won't sway you from the life that you want to get. Imperfect action is better than no action. So, to finalize this video, I'd like to tell you that if you want to design your dream life, you have to start with these 4 components. First, determine what your dream life is and have that clarity on where you want to see yourself a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, whatever duration you want. After you've done that, the next step is to explore your options. Exploring your options is going to start with where you are right now. Do that self-reflection and figure out what points you have in your advantage and what things you can use right now to get you to where you want to go. Explore all avenues so that you have backup plans in case things don't work out. Number 3 is to break down those options into manageable steps that you're going to take. And number 4 is going to be to take action. Taking action is going to be the most important thing that is going to lead you to that dream life. So if you'd like to work with me on a one-to-one basis, you can book yourself a 30 minutes free call. The link is in the description of this video. Otherwise, go and design your dream life, but do not forget to take action. Catch you in the next video. Bye.